Appreciate all of you guys. CommenterNation, stand up. Let me talk about it because I already know somebody's going to have an issue with this subject, but it got to be talked about. Who was hosting amateur stars and using their dreams and aspirations as his energy for his pleasure? Now, here's the thing. Think of a pimp. What is a pimp willing to do to keep his girls in check? And who glorifies themselves being in a pimp type position if they're any type of credible man? Do you really need to put the beats on a girl or use a foreign means to control women if you're really a ladies' man, quote unquote? The answer is no. You don't have to. Because you could do what you do and the women are going to be attracted anyway because of what you stand for. Am I right or am I right? Man mindset. Am I right or am I right? Do I need to put the beats on a woman? Do I need to coerce her or have her unsober in order to get the wishes I want out of her? And what about this? What type of contracts are being made behind the scenes that are used to keep these type of women in check? Do you not hold them in a disingenuous position purposely so that they count on you in order to coerce them and use them to your sickest desires? Am I right? I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. I understand, but you know, I can't make this stuff up. And you already know and have an idea of where I'm headed with this, because I'm not even dropping your names at this point. I'm just talking to you. I'm talking to your soul. Because a lot of you lack that. You lack soul. You lack the presence of a man in the presence of a woman to be letting them make these type of decisions around you. If you hold, let me say this off rip. If you hold any prejudice as a form of power, you're a coward. Period. You could run around with 100 dudes around you like, yeah, you're still a coward. That doesn't change who you are. Okay? Having a bunch of women around you doesn't make you the man, because you pay for that in the end, depending on how you treated them. Whether you taught them things that will help them to grow, or you use things to subject them to some type of force to hold them down. A man doesn't have to do that because he empowers himself through being who he is without the necessity of another person around him. Do you get where I'm coming from? Maybe not. But let me kick this to you. Now, recently, we seen an individual that was notable in the community that two, let's say, not adversaries, not even rivals, but two off-brand affiliates have discussed trafficking. This type of lifestyle that forces women to behave a certain way that glorifies the people that are in power's movements, but unjustifiably exposes them to a lifestyle that would not be for the betterment of their future. Now, how was this not apparent in the decisions you made? Because I'm pretty sure, just like any job, as a boss pimp, whatever you call yourself, you made sure that these women didn't have that much more money in their pocket than you had. Am I right or am I right? You would never settle for them having more money in their pocket. So, thus, that being the case, that you paid what you thought they were worth and not what their exposure to different ailments of human deficiencies that could change their future longevity was taken into account. Do you get where I'm going here? Because now this is a question of character. Whose character was disingenuous around this young star named Tentacion? Whose character was disingenuous to the fact that it deeply affected everyone around him? You see, there's always a disingenuous soul around good souls because they have to use others to get what they want in life because they can't work hard and put in work on their own too in order to gain. And they have to get others in on the plan because they can't formulate a plan on their own to become successful without usury in some way, shape, and fashion. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong with this? Or did I break it down the way it needed to be? So now, with that said, let's ask ourselves this. Is there a difference between modeling and prostituting? Is there a difference between knowledge, gaining insight, and working towards a goal, or being given hopes and dreams that are held over your head to get you to make certain decisions that place you in a position of slavery? Where's the mentality at? Because now we're just kicking knowledge. See, one thing I learned, there wasn't someone kicking real knowledge that was around to help growth. Yeah, there's people who was talking, but does that mean they were kicking knowledge? Because they talked well and because they knew how to make money off of the benefits of others? Selling them a hope and a dream, them thinking that it was going to lead to something that it didn't. And why was this all brought into fruition at the slack and loss of another star? What type of magic is this? Interesting. By now, you see that I understand. And by now, you see that I see the big picture. So, right now, let me drop this understanding. No matter if you got away with it, no matter if you think you're getting away with it, no matter if you continue on this path, you will get your deserving. It just is what it is. And this is no magic. This is no magic. This is people who used others finally getting what they deserve for finding nothing wrong for using others for their own personal gain, no matter what the cost. Because the loss of vital life is something that people take for granted. And to put people in a position, let me tell you this. There's no greater sin to humanity than the usury and abuse of another human life. There's no greater sin. There's no greater sin. Even if you think that you're safe from doing something of this magnitude, and I don't look for law to get involved to take you out, no. You're going to get that very power you used to obtain what you did, used to backfire and consume you. That very power you used to take on others is going to get used and implode on you, because that's the way the game works. That's how playing that dark game works. And you don't understand it because you only read parts of the book that work towards your benefit. You didn't read the parts in the book that showed you the outcome of others who used this means to obtain everything they wanted. That's the problem. See, TheCzarr has read the full book, front to back, over and over and over, to understand fully what's entailed in the game. You missed it. Because human life is something that has no price, but you put a price on it. And for that, you offended the powers that be. So with that said, all who continue to use this without asking for forgiveness will see what that brings in the end. Momentary happiness that brings situation without a proper conclusion for the human spirit of hard work you had to offer in life. These aren't parables. These are exact rules. But you didn't read. You probably don't read at all. You probably hate reading. But I'm telling you, I see the story. I see the parts. But what you don't see is the moving conclusion that elates from decisions that are made by people who make them at that magnitude. They might not get it, but I know you get it now. Because if you read what I read, you should fully understand where this is going. It is sad that the used do not see where they were used and will not see where they were used, most of them, until the conclusion happens. But I see it. And I'm telling them to focus on their vital life energy and be productive in life and carry on the energy and positivity. Do not let negativity seep into what it is your human spirit has to bring. Do not do that. It will be for the gain of someone near you and the destruction of self. Do not do it. Rise above and separate yourself from this conclusion. That is my respects to anyone that still may be involved in this situation in some way, shape, or form that is unsavory. The Czar's kicking knowledge to you, dropping gems. Please do not let it lead you down the path that destroys your human spirit. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.